Am I the a-hole for walking out of the bridal salon when I found out my friends were making fun of me behind my back? I have two friends, Gaby and Shelly. All of us are 23 if that matters. We were roommates in college and stayed in the same city after graduation. While the three of us are close, I've always known that Gaby and Shelly are the closest. They have a really sweet friendship. Shelly is getting married, Gaby is the maid of honor, and I'm one of the bridesmaids. Over the weekend, I went with Shelly so she could look at wedding dresses. Gaby was supposed to come with us but got called into work last minute. I helped Shelly pick out some dresses, then she went with the consultant to try them on. Shelly asked that I take pictures and videos on her phone to send to her mom and Gaby. I was getting the camera ready when a text from Gaby came through. I didn't mean to click on it, and was instantly going to click back out when I saw one of my Instagram pictures in their private chat from earlier that morning. Both were making fun of me for the face I was making and my outfit choice. It didn't appear to be very good-natured. I admit, curiosity got the best of me, so I searched my name in the chat. I found multiple pictures that I, my boyfriend, or my mom have posted of myself, absolutely ripping them to shreds, ranging from selfies to posed shots to even a few baby pictures. They'd also make fun of me in general in terms of the way I talked, wore my hair, and the way I ate. This went back as far as I could tell, at least a year. My heart broke. It all felt so juvenile in high school. While we all joke around, I would never do this to them, nor have they ever even tried to instigate these types of conversations with me about the other one-on-one. I was in tears. As someone who was bullied all through middle and high school, it just brought me back to a horrible place. I put the phone in Shelly's purse and brought it to another employee, telling her to tell Shelly that I had to go. I drove home and had a long cry. Shelly texted me by the time I made it home asking where I went. I said I was going home and we could talk later. When she did call a few hours later, she was understandably confused and hurt that I left. I told her what I found, explaining that I only looked further because of the initial text I accidentally saw. She went off on me for looking through her private texts and said those were none of my business. She also told me I shouldn't have left the store without saying anything. I said I didn't want to make a scene but also knew I couldn't fake being happy for her. Shelly told me the texts were all in good fun, and clearly she loves me because I'm going to be her bridesmaid. She added that I'm only hurt because I chose to read all those texts. Later on, Gaby called to tell me that I invaded Shelly's privacy and hurt her by walking out. My boyfriend and mom think I did the right thing by walking out, but obviously they're a little biased. I just want some unbiased looks. Was I an a-hole to look through the texts and then leave?
Not the a-hole. If I was in your place, I think I'd drop out of being in the wedding. It's one thing to jokingly make fun of someone one time, but it seems like they have done this to you a bunch of times, and it doesn't seem like it was lighthearted. If I was you, I wouldn't feel bad about looking through those messages at all. She handed her phone to you and feels like fate took the opportunity to expose them to you for who they are.
I think I'd drop out of their lives altogether.
Not the a-hole. Searching her phone was maybe crossing the line, but that line is far less important than two supposed friends spending months making fun of you behind your back. The all-in-good-fun excuse doesn't hold water because you were not a party to it. You don't hide things like that from people unless you're aware of the fallout that would happen if you didn't. I can guarantee you that the vast majority of the people who will comment on this thread would never make fun of their friends to other friends behind their back. This is mean girl behavior, it's passive-aggressive, it's mean-spirited, and it's not how real friends treat their friends. They were making fun of you because they're mean and not very nice people, and they hid it from you because they are mean and not very nice people. She made excuses and blamed you for the situation because she is mean and not a very nice person. You should drop them both like a hot potato because they're mean and not very nice people. My only caveat here is if you engage in similar behavior with either of them, having private chats and making fun of other friends. If you do, then everyone sucks here.
I have never had similar conversations with them and never even would. We occasionally joke around, but I've only ever done it with both of them right there. Would never behind their back.
Then, definitely not the a-hole. You're a much better person than they are. Talking about people behind their back and making fun of their pictures and their appearance and their clothing is just really mean-spirited behavior. The fact that you didn't get an apology after you caught them at it is just icing on the cake. Your mom and your boyfriend are right. These women are not good friends. You deserve better, because they certainly don't deserve you.
Not the a-hole. Neither of these girls are your friend. They are deceitful, mean girls who didn't even have the decency to apologize after you found out that they were being mean to you and secretly ganging up on you. They are bullies, and you are doing a disservice to yourself to continue relationships with either of them. Take out your phone, block their numbers, and take the time to find real friends who love and respect you. You don't need them, and they certainly don't value you, so don't give them a single second more of your energy. Love yourself and respect yourself enough to know that you deserve better.
Am I the a-hole for suggesting that we stay elsewhere during a family vacation? My wife and I have a 2-year-old daughter, let's call her Anna, and we're currently on a family vacation in Hawaii with my parents and my in-laws, 7 people total. We are staying at my father's timeshare, which he periodically invites us to. The 2 pairs of grandparents adore Anna and seem to get along with each other. Anna is undergoing potty training right now, and as with all potty training, there are occasional accidents. We arrived in Hawaii 2 days ago, and she had quite a few accidents. I suspect because she's dealing with an unfamiliar place and new people. Right before dinner, Anna had an accident on the pull-out sofa, which necessitated a call to housekeeping to swap out sheets and cushions. My dad wasn't happy. When all 7 of us sat down shortly afterward for dinner, my dad sat down, and the first thing out of his mouth was, "Anna is out of control, isn't she?" Bear in mind, Anna was sitting right across from him at the table. I let it slide and continued eating, and my wife said something to try to brush it off. Then, my dad suggested that we put Anna back in diapers, and that she not be allowed on the bed or the couch. I responded by saying that I didn't want to do that, and that potty training is a process that has highs and lows. My dad then remarked that it would be problematic if she had an accident on the carpet because it'd be hard to clean up. In my mind, I thought to myself, so you don't want her on the bed, couch, or carpet. Where is she supposed to hang out the whole time? The bathroom. At that point, I was frustrated and said something to the extent of, if Anna's accidents are too big of a problem, we can always find another place to stay at. That's when my dad blew up. He accused me of threatening him and of being disrespectful. It seemed that he took my suggestion as a threat of leaving, and he made it very clear that he felt offended. He also said that I needed to be careful with what I say and show respect to your parents. I responded by repeatedly telling him that I didn't threaten him, nor intend for him to be threatened. He responded that it doesn't matter what your intent was, because I feel threatened. At this point, I was really upset, so I said something I probably shouldn't have, remarking that he was too easily threatened. My dad then demanded that I apologize to him. I didn't feel that I had to, but I half-heartedly apologized because I wanted the argument to end, and because it was making things super uncomfortable for my in-laws, who were also sitting at the table and eating dinner through all of this. Later that evening, my dad pulled me aside again and lectured me further about the argument. It seemed that the whole blow-up happened in response to my remark that we could stay elsewhere if my dad couldn't tolerate Anna's potty training accidents. Am I the a-hole for saying that?
Potty training at someone else's vacation home and having them deal with your daughter's accidents is the rude gesture here. You're holding everyone else hostage of having to live with your daughter's messes. You should put her back in diapers and potty. Train her when you're back at your house. Why should the grandparents have to put up with having to sit on dirty, wet, smelly couches because your daughter's having accidents? Yes, you're threatening to leave, and the response for your father was overboard, but you wouldn't change the routine for the vacation is pretty entitled on your part. Everyone sucks here.
Come on, you could keep her in pull-ups during the trip. Why refuse to avoid accidents when you aren't in your own home? Soft, you are the a-hole for imposing your child's accidents on your father's furniture, etc., when there is a simple solution. Your father calling your daughter out of control is total a-hole though. LOL such drama.
You are the a-hole. Don't work on potty training on vacation. in someone else's home. Put the kid in diaper or pull-ups and resume at home.
Everyone sucks here? You should stay somewhere else. You obviously do not respect other people's property. Letting a child pee on furniture is not a normal part of potty training and doesn't need to be tolerated by others. And you were being emotionally manipulative by saying y'all would go somewhere else to make everyone cater to you. Your dad was the a-hole by not discussing the issue appropriately and instead making passive-aggressive and then aggressive remarks. Personally, I would have called your bluff, said aloha, and meet you for some activities and to play with grandkid at the park. Put a diaper on your child until she is potty trained and not having accidents everywhere. Gross.
What do you think of these stories? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel to see more interesting videos.